So first off, could you please explain, all these many hats that I've mentioned, how did you get started in the business world, and how has your journey changed your role into what it is today?
Abigail, firstly, thank you so much for having me here today. It's wonderful to be here with you and your followers and the people that do your workshops. To answer your question, we all have many hats. We are in any moment mother, friend, father. We might have a job title. We might have multiple job titles, as I do. And when we look at the way the world is today, that is just a part of our reality. It's not like it was 2,500 years ago, where you might have just had the responsibility of mother. And it's not about just, because it's not a word that I like to use. Every single role that we have. So whether you are a mother, it is an enormous role that you have. Whether you are a photographer, it's an enormous role that you have. Whether you are a psychologist, it's an enormous role that you have. So I take all of my roles very seriously. And I know that even though if you go to my LinkedIn profile or you go to my website, you'll see these 3 or 4, 5 titles that I have. I know that underlying that I have many more titles. But what that does is it makes it very difficult to be in this world today, because we're carrying so much. We are responsible for so much, and it brings about a pressure. And it was in that, when I have gone through my various transitions of my career, that I realized that I needed to integrate. I needed to own all of these parts of me in a more gentle way and not have to stand in any of them from an egotistical perspective. So for me, the real change was embracing each of these roles and knowing that they are all a part of my identity and they're not separate. They merged. And it's when I can hold them all together, and when they are comfortable with each other and they're not fighting with each other and they don't need to disappear when the other one comes forth, that I've been able to find that there I can be more of who I am. There I can be honest with myself and anyone who's in front of me, and then I'm better at whatever I'm doing. So whether I'm speaking in a moment, or whether I'm working as a coach or a meditation teacher or writing or sitting in a boardroom with a lot of executives and bringing my financial strategic hat to the table, the more integrated I am, the more the role of who I am comes forth, and a better delivery.
And do you feel that, and I suppose we'll dig deeper into that, but in terms of then your audience, whoever you're speaking to in that moment, first of all, are they aware of all of these other hats that you have? And does that impact their perception of your expertise in that role?
I'm going to go to something that I used to always say when I was in my my late teens and early 20s. We are the core as the center of ourself. Who I am, what am I? And that core is love. And when I express any form of my spirit, soul, mind, or body, it comes into the outside world. And on the outside of that core of yourself, you have that first circle, which are generally friends and family. And there might be about 5 or 10 people that are in that inner circle, but not one of those people will give you everything. So at a moment in time, I might be with a friend who I relate to on a physical level. And we do sport together, or yoga together, or we hike together. And another friend will talk about movies and books. So I don't believe that my readers will always see that. They won't always see all of those parts of me, but it's for me to know that all of those parts are alive at any moment in time. But when I am with someone, whoever's in front of me, the touch point of how we identify and come forward is where we can find our space of coexistence, our space of love, our space of magic, and not have to be the other things at that moment in time. We sometimes cut people out because they don't fit a certain profile for us, because we don't have the same belief. And I think that's naive, because there's so much to be enjoyed. There's always common ground between two people. I don't care if you have different, religious beliefs or political beliefs. There's always a place of commonality. And so do my readers or do my audience always see all of those parts of me? Maybe not. But if they want to go and find that touch point with me where they do identify, that is where I'm then speaking to at that moment in time. And that's where it resonates with them, and that's where it lands. And so the rest doesn't take away from what they're getting. And it's to be able to be with that at a moment in time that I think is very precious.